Welcome to Your Town, your host, Stanley Mickelson. As you know, this program is never a political, it's always informational by nature. Get that straight, right? So my pleasure, and extreme pleasure, is to welcome the Dartmouth Town Clerk, Sarah Haskell Arruda. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad we finally got a nice little program.
Yes.
And all the millions of people that are going to watch this,
Yes.
it's important that we have this kind of a program.
Of course.
So let's discuss how you got here. Not just the position you're in now, but maybe a little bit of background about you, your family, and things you like to do, not like to do, whatever. It's all yours. The
All
mic
right.
is yours.
So I am a Dartmouth native, born and raised here. I am third generation in Dartmouth, but I went to school for social work. And so the majority of my career, I worked for the Department of Children and Families as an investigator. And then the opportunity presented itself in 2020. The prior clerk had retired, and so I was appointed and then elected in 2021 for my own 3-year term.
Mm-hmm. A little bit more about your background, family and...
So I'm married to a Dartmouth police officer.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 adult children who also were born and raised here in Dartmouth. My grandmother will be turning 99 this month, and she still lives here in Dartmouth. And my parents are both from Dartmouth and worked in Dartmouth, and I have 2 sisters who are also both in Dartmouth.
And one very much involved in the town.
Yes, I have an older sister who's the town moderator.
Right. Who does a great job.
She does a fantastic job. We like to call her bossy, but a lot of people think she has strong leadership skills, and so she does a nice job.
She does a wonderful job.
And she really thoroughly enjoys it, and she's always been very interested in town politics and issues, as well as my grandmother. So I come to this position kind of naturally.
Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. So let's go over a little background of what the town clerk's office actually does in the town of Dartmouth.
So it's a great position to work at the town clerk's office in that we get to do a whole variety of things. So we run all of the elections, both the local as well as state elections, which takes up a vast majority of our time. But all of the births, marriages, and deaths are registered out of the town clerk's office. We make copies of vitals. We license all of the dogs for the town. We spend a fair amount of each year working on the annual census, which everybody receives in January, and that's statewide. We always do a census, and then later in the year we print an annual street listing, and so each of the census have to be entered into the computer, so we spend a great amount of time doing that, and we get to do some fun extra things like records preservation, and you and I had talked about, we do fuel storage here in Dartmouth out of the town clerk's office, which was one of the tasks that I was unaware the town clerk did. So it makes every day quite different and busy, and we get to interact with lots of residents, which is a lot of fun. Yeah,
we hear a lot of good things about your office.
Oh, everybody, I'm so glad.
And it's from the top down.
Well, I have an amazing team. I love to say that I have the best team at Town Hall, and they make me look good every day. They're so knowledgeable. They have amazing customer service. They're kind. If they don't know the answer, they're willing to find out, and all of us are always trying to learn and improve.
I know when I go in there, everybody's got a smile on their
face.
They
do.
And it's really wonderful when the residents see that. They feel, because some people are a little overwhelmed when they go in town hall, because most of them don't usually do that very often.
Correct.
And so they're looking for information or this or that, and it's heartwarming to see how they handle themselves with the residents, and it's nice. I just constantly get wonderful remarks about the office, and it all comes down to you.
We're enjoying it. We're having a nice time. There's a lot of laughter in our office. We don't take ourselves too seriously. And the residents respond in such a nice way. And it's really, really fun, leaning back on my social work background, to get to learn about the different residents. Everybody has an interesting story to share with us, and I've learned lots about the different history in Dartmouth, and it's really fun to learn different tidbits, and somebody's always got a story about where they grew up, and some people have gone to high school over at Town Hall, which was the pool school, so it's always fun when people share their stories with us.
A lot of people don't realize that Town Hall, the history of that Town Hall.
Right, right, it's very interesting.
It was a wonderful school with a few amount of people. That was when the town had less than 10,000 people, too.
Yeah, we're 3 times that.
Exactly,
It's
exactly.
amazing how we've grown.
Yeah, and it's more amazing that building, I know we've spent money over the years upgrading it with windows and roofs and things of that sort, which is natural. But what great bones that building has. And something that, in today's market, everything is throwaway.
Agreed.
And in that day and age, nothing was throwaway. It was forever.
Yes.
And we're very fortunate. Nice, and it's nice to come in there and just feel all that.
It is, all the history.
Yeah, feel all that overwhelming history. Yeah,
Yes.
that's generations and generations.
That building has been good to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, I guess the topic today is important. Is April 4th is election time.
Yes.
April 4th, time to go out and vote again.
Yes.
So let's go over some of the things that might be a question to some of the voters, not for the first time, but to make sure we've got everybody understands, what's going on. This is nothing new. I'll let you expound on that.
Correct. So April 4th, it's a Tuesday, it will be our annual town election, and polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. They will all be the same polling
Can I
place.
just interrupt?
Of
I'm so
course.
sorry. I read in today's Standard Times it said 5 o'clock.
Correct. They've
So-
made an error.
Right. So I don't know if they probably will not do a retraction, but let's just emphasize the 8 o'clock.
8 p.m., yes.
Right.
I did read that, and people have brought that to my attention. There was also, under the library trustees, they said it's Joan Maria Prue. It's Joan Marie. We want to make sure that they know that. And I checked and rechecked to make sure I hadn't made the error. I didn't, but they made a little bit of a mistake. So she's one of the incumbents. So it's April 4th from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the same polling places that they were at in November. If anybody has questions about that, they should give the town clerk's office a call, and we can direct people where they should go.
Right. All they need is their zip code,
Yes.
basically.
Basically,
Yep.
they give us their street address, we look that up for them. The Secretary of the Commonwealth also has a spot which they can get through our new website. You put in your address, it tells you exactly where you go, and the address, it's fantastic.
That's a great tool now that we
Okay,
didn't
it
have before.
is.
Our website, by the way, thank you, whoever was involved in it, and whomever.
Yes.
It was a team effort, and it's a wonderful website.
It is
It's now,
beautiful.
up to the 2023.
Yes, yes, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's easy to navigate.
Yeah.
So we have lots of information on the town clerk's website. It says election information. It couldn't be easier to find it, but if people have questions, they can certainly call our office. In addition to voting in person on April 4th, people can vote via mail-in ballot or absentee ballot. They can apply for both of those on our website also.
Or come into the town
They
hall.
can come into
Yep.
the office. If they call us, we will mail them the application out. The ballot has been sent to print, and my hope is that it will be here at the end of this week or the beginning of next. And people
And that'll be posted?
Yes, yes. And people are calling, and we're letting them know. I'm beholden now to the printer and the delivery service, but it has been sent. It's ready to go. We're excited to get it. And we will have about a 24-hour turnaround for those mail-in ballots once the ballot arrives. So if the ballot arrives on Monday, we'll be sending them out by Tuesday. We have a very fast turnaround so that people have time to receive it, fill it out, and get it back to us, because we must have it by 8 p.m. on April 4th. for it to
Again,
count.
one more time?
April 4th.
By
8 p.m.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
That part's important
Yes.
because we cannot accept it even at 8:01. So
Right.
we check all of the places where you can drop them off at 8 o'clock so that everybody's counts. And then people, in addition, can vote early in person. as an absentee in person until noontime on April 3rd. And they have until March 30th at 5 to request a mail-in ballot. And that gives us 5 days to get the ballot out and them to receive it. But they can request their ballots now, and we will get them mailed out to people because we want to make sure, again, they have that enough time to fill it out and get it back.
Very busy time for the office.
It is.
Very
it is.
exciting. It makes the day go by very fast.
Very fast.
I'm
There are
sure.
not enough hours in the day.
So again, the precincts, how many precincts do we have now?
We have 9 precincts. 9 precincts, and we have 8 polling places. So up north in precinct 1, they vote over at the North Dartmouth Library, which is a beautiful space. Precinct 2, which is around Route 6, they vote over on Anderson Way at the church there. Precinct 3 is our newest polling place, and they're over at the university, so we're really excited to have voting on campus. And then precinct 4 is over at the Dartmouth Bible Church. 5 is at Town Hall, so we get to see some voters over at Town Hall. And then both 6 and 9, they vote over at the Council on Aging, and 7 is at DYAA Field.
Yeah.
So, and if people are confused, even on election day, if they were to happen to go to the wrong polling place, we help them to find the correct spot.
And that does happen once in a while.
It does.
I've seen that, but
It does.
not very often. We've got some
People call
pretty
us
smart
and
residents.
we're able to move them around. It may be that they moved and they were unsure, but we're able to get them to the place they need to go and still be able to cast their ballot.
Yeah. And this is going to be, my opinion, is going to be a pretty heavy of turnout.
I sure hope
Yeah,
so.
and I'd like
because
to see double digits, really high double digits.
I would like to see that. I'd like to see, 80%
Yeah,
turnout, but
well,
I don't think that's ever happened. But even the last local election, we had 25%
Yeah,
turnout with, so.
That's unfortunate that we think that's high, but in this day and age, unfortunately, those are the numbers.
But it's important because these are the people who are making the day-to-day decisions for our residents, and it directly impacts them. So it is important to get out and cast your vote. I do want to note that March 25th is the last day to register to vote, and so the town clerk's office, it's a Saturday, will be open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So if people haven't been able to register or they're not sure, we'll be there all day, and we would love to have a long line of people registering.
Isn't that nice? A Saturday, and you're offering that out for the
Yes.
residents, because a
Yes.
lot of people work, unfortunately.
Right.
And obviously, that's why we're there Saturday.
Yes, so we'll be there till 5. People can come in and do it. Again, the Secretary of the Commonwealth's office does a nice job of allowing you to register to vote online. And
Yeah.
we have a lot of registered voters in Dartmouth. We have 22,000
Yeah.
of a 33,000 resident population.
Yeah, that's great.
So,
Yeah.
but we need people
Let's
to
cross our
actually come
fingers
out.
we get a nice turnout, and
Yeah,
the weather's nice.
That would be wonderful.
I-
In April, it's a little touch and go.
I've been through some elections where pouring rain and nasty weather, but people find a way to come out and vote if they really want to.
And it's easier than ever.
Now
that
it
they've made
is,
it
yeah.
a law that
Yeah.
you don't even have to have a reason to request that mail-in ballot.
Right,
So
right.
between mail-in and absentee, I know we have a lot of residents that winter other places. We can get them out to them, and
Right.
they can return them with plenty of time.
Yeah, we have a lot of Florida residents, not
Correct.
residents of Florida, our residents that live there part-time,
Yes.
wintertime, yeah.
Yes, especially
Yeah.
in April. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people haven't quite come back.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah. And some do come back just to vote,
They do.
believe it or not, because they're used to it, and they want to get in the building
It's
and vote
important.
personally, and
We do
a
have
lot
a
of people
fair
really love that.
They do.
Right.
They do. And I
Right.
have amazing poll workers that we consistently have, and they love to see the residents. I think that there are a number of people that this is when they expect to see people they know,
Right.
and neighbors and friends.
Yeah.
So they love to come out and work the polls, and then residents love to come out and see those people working. So I think that's important also.
So I'm curious, is there anything in your office that you would like to change that might be tiresome and maybe antiquated, or?
So one of the things that we're working on is to try and streamline and get our dog licensing online. At the moment, you cannot do it online, and that's really something that it's hard for people, like you said, to get into the office. We're only open 8:30 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. We've made it that people can, when they get their census, they can register their dog through that. We've made it that they can pay by credit card. But we've been able to streamline so many things, both in our office and throughout the town, and that would be something that we're really focused on. I think it could make it a lot easier for people to get their dog registered.
You can get a beach sticker online.
Now you can.
So I would presume that we can find a way to get a dog license online.
We are absolutely working on it. So talk about antiquated. Some of the laws around dog licensing are a bit antiquated in where you can get it. It has to be issued out of the town clerk's office, the law specifically says. So we're working with some of these groups that have come in and have been able to meet all of the criteria. And we're trying not to reinvent the wheel in that there are other towns throughout the state of Massachusetts that are able to do online dog permitting. So we're working on it, trying to figure out what's going to be the best fit for our office and our residents.
There's a lot of animals out there.
There are. We license between 3,500 and 4,000 dogs.
Yeah, that's
each
awful.
year.
Yeah,
each year. So it's important. And that license, not only is it the law, but we help a fair amount of dogs that get lost find their way home because we have all the information based on that tag number.
That's great.
It's more than you would expect.
And
that's a really fun part of the job.
That's another reason why you should register the animals.
It is. It lets us know that they are up to date with their rabies, and it's the law. But in addition, there's a little bit of extra help that dog get home in the event they get lost.
Yeah. I'm going to need one of those one day.
Same.
Well, let's just briefly go over the time frame again, April 4th, and precincts and things like that, because this is really what this program is about today.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we should start with the fact that on March 25th from 9 to 5 it's the last day to register vote, and our office will be open that whole day. Then on March 30th, it's the last day to request a mail-in ballot. And then April 3rd until noontime, we can have in-person absentee voting. So if somebody is not going to be available between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. on April 4th voting day, they can vote until noontime on the 3rd. And then we'll be at our regular precincts that we were in November. And we have 9 of those scattered throughout the town. And if people have questions, they can always call the town clerk's office.
For sure.
Happy to help them. And there's a wealth of information on our new website. For sure.
Well, Sarah, I can't thank you enough for what you do and also your staff. And every day, every time I walk in, there's a big smile and how well versed your staff is, and never a complaint I hear.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
It's wonderful.
I'm not sure we're
pretty hard to do
happy,
that.
But we're trying. We really genuinely want to help people, and if we don't know the answer, we can find it out, and we'll head them in the correct direction.
Yes.
We are frequently the first point of contact. We a lot of times answer the phone, and people say, "I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be going," and we're super happy to be able to help them. And we're having a really nice time. This is a fantastic job, and it's a fantastic town.
I love
to
to hear
for.
that. Yeah.
So thank you for having me and letting me spread my information.
Yeah, and thankfully you're here, and you're very informative and very well versed in what you're supposed to do. I can't thank you enough. Well, this concludes another program of Your Town. Episodes in the future, stay tuned. And this is Stanley Mickelson signing off.